everyone. Hello, hello, hello. I am so excited to be with you all today. I'm looking for all my stuff here. Let me see. Brand folder. Got my brand folder. Just wanted to say hello to everybody. I hope you all are here. Let me see. Hi, chat overlay. No, I don't want to do that. No, 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 no. Undo. I just want to say hello to everyone. I am here, but where's all my music and stuff? Ah, I'm looking for my little brand stuff, y'all. Where is it? Say hello if y'all are here. Hey, y'all. Okay, comments supposed to show up on the side. I am. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, I think y'all can hear me. Let me know if you all can hear me. Let me see. Uh-huh. I think y'all can hear me, but where's all of my stuff at? This is funny. Okay, we haven't used this one in a minute. So, no, I don't want that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I guess it's not here. I don't know where all my stuff is. My design, I got my design here. I got everything here, but I do want to say, hey, y'all. Okay, I think I found my stuff. I am going to do, this is so funny. My intro, at least I think is here. And then I will be right back. Okay, now I feel better because I had to have my intro. Hey, y'all, I am so excited to be here with you all. You all have probably been seeing a lot going on from iRock this week. We are so excited. My lips are a little dry, y'all, but we are so excited. Let me put this on real quick. Okay, let me do that. Okay, this is live, right? Anyway, we're so excited that we are celebrating 10 years. Can y'all believe it? Those of you all who've been following me for a long time, can y'all believe it? I can't believe it. And not only is it 10 years coming up on Saturday for my business, iRock, y'all, I am also celebrating 30 years working for State Farm Insurance. Yes, 30 years. Now, today is the actual technical day, May 23rd. They start at State Farm on the 23rd, which it was a Saturday. But my first day of showing up in the office was May 25th. And May 25th is when I also launched iRock on May 25th, 2014. And I walked into State Farm office 1994, 30 years ago. Can you believe it, y'all? Sometimes I still cannot believe it. I know I only look 35, but anyway. So yeah, like really, it was 30 years ago. And May 25th is really significant. And here's why. It's really significant because my mom's birthday is May 25th. She went on home with the Lord on 2007. So I purposely launched my business also on May 25th in honor of her birthday. So we have been tearing up the all of the social media with all the different memories, the old logos, some of my early lives that I've done. You all, I have been streaming for like ever. And one of the things that's phenomenal is that I was one of the first people in the career space to be given access to even LinkedIn Live because I was doing live so heavily on Facebook Live. So I had the beta version for over a year before they start opening up to anybody else. So I'm really appreciative of that. And, they probably researched, who was going to get lives or what have you, but they saw probably that I was doing a whole lot of lives on Facebook because that's the only place that we were able to do lives. And even before that, you all, do you remember Periscope? Oh my gosh. I know I have my videos from Periscope because that's when the very, very first live came out. I was doing Periscope lives and I think I wasn't even a full year in business at that time. So I'm thinking back as far as how long I've been doing live streaming. I've been live streaming since, gosh, probably 2015. I'll say 2015, but I used to do a lot of live streaming on Periscope. And then I went over to doing it on Facebook when Facebook opened up. So I have been live streaming for quite a while, which is absolutely too funny for that. And let me see, let me make sure I'm looking at my chat. Okay. Okay, good. So yeah, so I'm like, oh my gosh. So if you all are out there, say hello and let me know that you are out there. But I am really excited about our 10-year anniversary. And one of the things I really wanted to talk about is the fact that how did I get started? And why I don't think I really talk. I talk about it in my book, but I don't really talk about it in depth unless somebody's asking me one on one. But years ago, being in corporate America, you're very focused on climbing the corporate ladder. I was doing all the things that you're supposed to do, especially for the organization I was working for. So I did all of the certifications. We have certifications that we do in the insurance industry, the Charter Property Casualty Underwriters, CPCU. 8 courses I had to take, college level courses to pass those exams. And I was grateful that I was at State Farm. You were also granted a trip to go to the actual commencement and you could take another person. So they paid for me and my husband, and we paid for Nadia to come along with us. And we were able to go to California. Right, we were actually right across from Disney. What was that? I can't remember where we were. I guess I was LA. I don't know. Wherever Disney is in California, we didn't go because my daughter don't like those animals. That's another story for another time. Do you know the people in the suits? Anyway, that's another story because she don't like that. Well, at least then she don't like it. She's older now, but she didn't like that stuff. But anyway, so I also did a charter life underwriter certification as well, and I got a chance to go to Hawaii. So Honolulu, Hawaii. The company sent me and my husband, and then we paid for 90 to go. We had a wonderful time there, and also did the associates in insurance. So I had 3 certifications in insurance industry. When I say insurance industry, is property and casualty, doing all the things. I worked in went to the corporate office. I worked there as a corporate trainer. I stood up at that time. It was 3 going on 4 operations. I was part of standing up those operations. I mean, I was just blazing trails all up in corporate America. But I got tired of chasing the carrot. Every time you turn around, I had to do something else. You go do this, Nicolette. Jump through this hoop, Nicolette. Jump through this hoop, and it got tiring. Frankly, I got tired of always having to do the next thing while I watched some of my peers just leap over me and do things too and go further. So I said, you know what? There's probably not in the cards for me. Now, here's why I say that. I've always been some kind of entrepreneur in my head, right? I would always come up with these ideas, inventions, and everything. And my husband's like, "Oh gosh, here she go again." And I would always say, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. You just watch. I just got to find the right thing. Yes, I sold Mary Kay. I sold Avon. And my favorite thing, which I still love to do, I haven't done it in a while, is scrapbooking. So I was also a creative memories consultant. And then I started my own little side business of doing kind of administrative type of work. It was called Be Excellent. Barrett and then excellent. So I did Be Excellent. I just had this little cute little cartoon made up and I would do different things for churches and stuff like that. So I did a little bit of that stuff. And then it really wasn't until 20, I think it was 20, yeah, it was about 2013 to 2014 when I was standing up another operation for State Farm. It was the ILR. I was second wave to help stand up that whole operation, inputting and all this kind of stuff. And we had to get all of our people ready for promotion. We had to get them ready. So, I've always written resumes for people. I've always done interview prep. And one of the things that you have to do as a corporate leader is get your team ready anyway for those things. So that was like par for the core. I was already doing it. And so therefore it just magnified because it was such a huge opportunity at one time to do it. And in 2 sets of times, I was able to get my entire team, except for one, promoted. I had a team of 11 associates. One didn't go for the promotion because she was getting married and relocating to Houston, but my whole team. And so 2 of my people came back to me and said, well, Miss Nicolette, if I didn't work for you, I will pay you. And one young lady said, well, my husband just paid this other person a whole lot of money to do their resume. And I'm like, well, people get paid for this? It's like, yeah. Then I had to think about it. I said, oh, I remember when we were relocating from Chicago, Illinois, down to Texas because my husband took on a senior pastorate in Beaumont, Texas. I did pay someone to do my resume and it was absolutely horrible. So I redid it myself, but I was like busy getting, move and all this kind of stuff, getting things wrapped up at the company in Chicago that I had to make the move down to Beaumont, Texas. So I just said, I don't have time. I pay somebody to do it. So therefore, when they said that, I said, well, let me put a little blurb out on social media. Thank you, my baby. That's my Nisha Apria. Thank you. So I said, well, let me go ahead and put a blurb out and talk about what I did. And that's what I did. I just put a blurb out on Facebook when I did half of my team got promoted. I said, yeah, I did this. And guess what started happening? People who I've worked with in the organization across the US in Chicago said, oh, yeah, you helped me do this. You helped me get promoted. You helped me do this. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, y'all didn't even buy me a gift card. And at that time, Dunkin' Donuts was big. The Starbucks was not even thought of. But in Dunkin' Donuts, and I love me some Dunkin' Donuts French vanilla coffee. Like, y'all didn't buy me a gift card. So it was like the running joke, like, okay, let me do this. So then people start asking me, how much do you charge? It was the funniest thing. And I'm still corporate minded. I'm still doing everything I need to do to climb the corporate ladder to get to that next level of leadership. And I said, well, I don't know. So then I started literally charging just enough to get a manicure and pedicure, y'all. It was so funny. I said, I could just go ahead and get that bill done. Then I started doing it, and guess what? People start getting these large, huge jobs. And there was one lady that was sent to me. I can't remember how she found me, but she asked me to do two resumes for her. And I said, okay. She wanted one for the financial side of insurance and one for operations insurance. So I did two for her. She got that big promotion and moved clear across the US to Washington. And she's actually in my inbox. And she said, yeah, I did well. She said, it all started with you and your resume. And then she started sending all of her people to me because they were going through some changes and people were getting laid off at the organization. So she started sending all those people to me. So then all of a sudden, I'm in business part time after work writing resumes. And so I'm like, okay, so this is really something. So I just kept doing it for fun, get my little manicure, pedicure, little side change going on. And I'm still focused on corporate America. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this corporate thing because I got all my designations. I did this standing up. I moved all across the country for the organization, did all these things. I just know it's my turn. I got next, right? That's what I was thinking. Then this thing started growing, you all. And people kept telling other people about it because they kept landing interviews and then, of course, getting jobs. So I said, well, I might as well go ahead and make a little price sheet. So I made a little price sheet. I'm not kidding, y'all. This is so funny. I made a little price sheet and I had my little prices on there. I said, well, I do interview prep. So I might as well do interview prep. So I had resumes, cover letters, and interview. You could talk to me real quick and I give you some interview tips. So that's what I was doing. And then all of a sudden, it started growing even more. I'm not kidding, y'all. It is the funniest thing. So it started growing even more because people kept telling people about it. And then I will post out, my results. People start landing interviews and getting their jobs and stuff like that. Then I said, you know what? I think I got something here. So let me get serious about it. And that's when I really started getting serious. So this went from like January, February of 2014. And then I started, getting a lot of traction. And I said, well, let me go ahead and get my little logo. You all probably have seen the post of my first logo, iRock Resume Services is what I was called because I would always have everybody sit next to me at the organization at State Farm. And I said, well, sit next to me and talk to me. I'm going to make you sound like a rock star because the internal resumes that they were sending me were absolutely horrible. I'm like, no, you can't submit this. No. So I would literally write it while they were talking to me. And then that's how they started getting the interviews and started, and then do the interview prep and they started landing the jobs. So all of this thing just kept snowballing. And it was like, oh my goodness, this thing is really big. And then I started calling myself Rockstar Resume Services. And here's the first lesson I learned as a business. You hear me now, you must research the name of your business before you actually confirm that's the business that you want. So here I am calling myself Rockstar Services. I was getting a young lady at my church down in Beaumont, Texas. Her brother did logo. So I hired her brother to create the logo for me and Rockstar Resume Services. Come to find out, there was another Rockstar Services, resume services in California. A lady found me on the internet. I don't know how she found me on the internet. I was so brand new. You at that time, SEO wasn't that big of a deal because I'm like, how did the heck did you find me? And I'm just literally starting. And so she found me on the internet because I bought well, I don't know if I bought it, but I had something out there that says Rockstar Resume Services. So she found me. But she said, "You moved to Texas? You were in California." I was like, "No, ma'am, I'm here in Texas. I've never lived in California." So I'm talking, she said, "No, I want to go back to the lady that was in California because she did mine. I had good results." And I said, "Trust me, ma'am, I can do it for you. I can do it." I tried to convince her and everything. She's like, "Nope, deuces. I'm going back to the other lady." So she did not buy the service. Then I went ahead and looked up and I found this whole full-fledged resume business that was called Rockstar Resume Services. So yes, I started having a meltdown. So I called my husband. I said, "Honey," I said, "this person got the name and everything." So he asked me the question, "Did you research to see if anybody had the name?" I'm like, "No, I didn't know I had to do that." So funny. He said, "No, you got to do your due diligence. You got to make sure that you research all the internet to make sure nobody has that name." I said, "I didn't ever think about that. I just said it because I used to tell people I'm going to make them sound like a rock star. So I just chose that name." He said, "No, you can't do that." And before the gentleman finished my logo, if we were on the final iteration, I had to call him and say, "I need to change it one more time." He said, "You have changed this design so many times." I said, "No, I have to this time because," and I explained the situation. He said, "Oh yeah, you can't have that." So he went ahead and changed it. But you know what happened? The Lord dropped in my spirit, iRock. And so I said, iRock. I rock resumes and I do rock resumes. I got on the internet and I researched every single thing. And when I didn't see anything on, it was Yahoo, I did Bing, I did Google. I made sure nobody had that name. The only place I had that name was a rock quarry. Go figure. So therefore, I said, I rock resumes. I went and bought up every domain there was for my business. And I wanted to make sure no one else had that. So I bought iRockResumes.com, .net, .org, .everything. I bought up everything I could so nobody can use that name. So therefore it became mine. And then I did a formal launch on May 25th. So at the organization at State Farm, on my 20th anniversary, I celebrated that day because they give a little celebration at the organization. So I celebrated at work my 20th anniversary. And then and when I got off of work, I launched my business formally on May 25th after I got home from work, and I was in business, and it has grown exponentially since then. So I'm really excited about where we're going as a organization, and my goal is to really grow it even more because yes, I have a staff now, which I'm excited about. I do not only resumes, I have all these certifications also now. And here's one of the things, when you're really loving and wanting to do some business for yourself, take your time first, learn business and develop it. Don't run out and getting all this other stuff when you haven't even proven the concept. Meaning, I see a lot of people spend a lot of time on marketing, building a website, getting a logo, getting all of these other things, and they haven't even sold anything to say that they're in business. So try it first and sell your services before you start investing in all of the things that go along with business. So when I do, thank you, as LinkedIn user, see if you could put your name on there so I can say hello to you. But so therefore, you always think about what do you want to do. Proof of concept is going to help you first. So I had a proof of concept because people were paying me through PayPal. There was no Zelle back then. There was no what else people use? Oh God, Cash App. There was none of that. So it was PayPal. So people would just pay me on PayPal and I collect their money and I write their resumes after I get off of work. And so that's how it all started. But and then when I do the proof of concept, where people are actually paying me to do this and they were getting success, that's when I really, hey, Demisha, thanks for joining me, girl. But I'm telling you, that's when it really starts snowballing. So therefore, I then began to have packages. So not only resume, I did resume, cover letter, interview prep. Then I said, well, it makes sense to do LinkedIn because I have doing stuff on LinkedIn. LinkedIn was really growing at that time. So I said, I'm going all in on LinkedIn. So I started doing LinkedIn, of course, to do the cover letters and the thank you letters. So it all made sense. And I started developing from that perspective. And then when you're thinking about your actual business, think about how do you evolve your business in the same vein and being very focused on that as well. And so that's what I started doing. I started thinking about what else could I do to help career professionals do well in their career. So then I said, I've always wanted to write a book. Let me write a book. Did not realize that being in a business for only 2 years, not many people in my industry were writing books. So when I joined the National Resume Writers Association, they were like, you've only been doing this for 2 years. You've already got two books. I'm like, yeah, I just sat down and wrote them. So it's like, but again, you do those things to kind of build yourself up, and your books are basically like your calling cards. So I went ahead and wrote my books. And then I became involved with the National Resume Writers Association. I was invited to speak twice on their national stage, which was absolutely fantastic. So I got a chance to do 2 sessions with them, still new, teaching what I already know. Now, here's the caveat. Just because I was only in business for that long, I was bringing with me 20 plus years of corporate experience. And so people don't usually think about their corporate experience and leveraging that to showcase that they have the skills. So, as a corporate leader, you are responsible for developing your people to go to that next level. Now, if you're not doing that in corporate America as of today, you really need to focus on that because you want to leave a legacy. I have a huge legacy over at State Farm of all the people I helped get to their next level and other opportunities, even if they wanted to slide to the side, still helping them and developing them because that's what something I just love to do. And it appears that I'm naturally gifted at just making sure that they know how to present themselves, not only on paper, but also, verbally as well. So as you're thinking about what kind of business do you want to be in, think about, okay, can I have a proof of concept first? Will somebody even pay me? Because once you get paid for something that you want to do, then yes, you potentially have something that you can actually develop and grow. Now, let me go back to corporate America. So when this thing started going very well, I made the bold decision to go into my manager's office and tell her to take me off the promotability list. She was like, "What's wrong?" She started moving stuff out of her way, thinking I was going to quit. And I said, "No, I said, I just decided I want to do something else. So I'm not interested." And that's after they sent me down to Florida to do a next line leadership look at by all of these different, different senior leaders and stuff like that. And my feedback was say I had been in leadership already at the company for 15 years at that time. And I already had the designations. I moved all across the company. I worked in the actual corporate office. I did all of that. And they said, well, we're going to keep you on the list for development for the next 18 to 36 months. And so I sat there at my boss and I looked, I said, what else do I have to develop? She said, nothing. She said, yeah, I said, do I need any of these things? What? I said, tell me, am I missing something? She said, no. And she said, well, one of the things that they said was that, you just got to continue to develop for another, 18 to 36 months. I'm like, bet I'm not doing that because I have already proven then some and twice and three times over. I refuse to do that. And I refuse to accept that feedback because she couldn't even say it because I've been working with her. And she also knew me from Chicago because we worked together in Chicago and she was relocated down here. She's like, she's the only thing I could tell you is that go ahead and learn this new department. That new department was nothing. I have argued cases in front of attorneys. And even the judges will say, you probably need to be an attorney because you do very well at this. I've done all of this. And you wanted me to learn PIP, MPC, like really personal injury protection, medical pay coverage, like really $10,000 worth of coverage. And I have argued hundreds of thousands of dollars. Are you kidding me? And she said, I don't know what else to say. I said, okay. So I went back, kept doing my little business, y'all. And I went back that next one-on-one. And I said, take me off that list. I did. take me off the list. And so after she had the meltdown, it was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I said, no, I decided to do something else. And here's how she found out what I was doing. Some of my peers came down from Chicago that I worked with for years. One of the gentlemen was looking for me. They said, this gentleman is looking for you. And every time you all keep missing each other because I have in one-on-ones, I'm in meetings, and then he was down. And then he came into my office and said, I need you to write me a resume. I said, how do you know I write resumes? He said, everybody knows you write resumes. I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, well, we can't talk about it here. I said, here, I gave him my number on a sticky. And I said, okay, call me after work. And then they went over to my boss house because, again, we all worked together up in Chicago. I didn't go. And they got little, full of themselves with some, spirits, and then ended up telling my boss what I did. And then so she found out. So my next one-on-one, she said, I heard you have a resume writing business. And I was like, then I said, yes, yes, I do. And I absolutely love it. She said, hmm. Okay, so we went over my results, and my results were always on point, y'all, because I'm always make sure I take care of my angel investor, right? That's another story for another time. But I did what I was supposed to do. And then she became a really great supporter of mine. And because I was saying, I want to quit management, I want to get out of management. So I was doing everything to get out of leadership so I can solely focus on my business. Now, as you see, I'm still in leadership. Every time I try to apply and go get out of leadership, the leaders would come back to me, say, the leader of that position, Nicolette, you really need to stay in leadership. So they wouldn't let me out. So I gave up. I said, okay, fine. But she was very helpful in trying to find me different opportunities that where I could still leverage my skills, but also build my business. So I just kept building my business. And so I just decided that I did not want to continuously climb a ladder that was not made for me. Now I want that to sit right there. The ladder was not made for me. It wasn't in the cards for me to go any further at their organization. So I had to make it my own. And I didn't feel I needed another 3 years. That means I would have had to been in doing the same leadership position for 18 years before given an opportunity to lead leaders. So I said, well, I'll build the actual full-fledged firm and company from the ground up and coach executives and coach senior leaders. Why don't I do that? So I did. So I just focused. And then when I say I put my whole self into my business, I did without sacrificing what I needed to do for my 9 to 5. So I want to make sure that that's understood because people are like, how do you balance that even today? I have two separate, even working from home, I have two separate areas. I have to have my mind focused on my 9 to 5, which is my angel investor. And then when I'm done with that 9 to 5, I close my computer and I walk over here to the iRock headquarters. And from 5 to 9, I'm working and focusing on my clients. So therefore, I'm able to balance both of those with grace by making sure I'm very organized, detail oriented. And I'm telling y'all, automation systems and workflows are going to be the key if you ever want to juggle a full-time corporate career like for me working for a Fortune 44 multi-billion dollar organization, the number one PNC insurer. Now that carries a lot of weight by itself, right? And then I'm in corporate leadership, and then I'm also building a solid business at the same time that has grown out into a full-fledged firm. So therefore you have to be balanced. And I tell people also, I'm here at 10 years. I didn't just jump on the scene. I build my business one evening and one weekend at a time. And that's what it took. You have to continuously to move forward, and you have to believe in your own skill set and your own dreams, and you know what you bring to the table, and don't let anybody dictate that for you. I didn't allow it to dictate to me just because you said that one little group of pot of people decided my fate for that organization at that time. I said, I am not going to accept what you say because I know what I'm capable of, i.e., that's why iRock is where it is now. So I didn't have to prove it within an organization. I had to prove it to myself. Hence, that's why my business is where it is now. And as you've seen, we've done a whole lot of things, and that's not even everything that we have done over the last 10 years. And when I say we, I have a staff. I have a staff. I run a staff. I have a chief of staff and chief of operations. I have junior writers now. I have a full-fledged bookkeeper and accountant. I have a customer success specialist. I have people that work with me and for me to help me move this engine. And so, therefore, you have to think about what it is that you really want to do and where you're going to put your gifts and your talents and not allow anyone else to squash it. Because I have seen people in corporate America get squashed because someone or some few ones have said no to you at that time. I'm like, you don't have to. You don't have to accept that. I say pick up your toys up out that sandbox and go find you another sandbox to play in. If you don't want to start your own business, one person's trash, trust me, is somebody else's treasure. So don't sit there and just allow someone to say this to you and bring you down, making you believe in what they say about you. What ye say about yourself? What do you say? So therefore, I know what I'm capable of. If I've done it here and here and here, even though sometimes they will steal the credit or all the things I've done, I would have to steal it back. You have to be able to do that for yourself. Hey, Coach Jessica Rich, thank you. So you have to think about what it is that you want to do for yourself. Don't allow anybody to guide your career. You have the power to guide it yourself, whether that is being an entrepreneur and taking your skill set and, hanging up your own shingle, or that's moving to another organization that will pay you more than that annual raise that you may or may not get 1 to 3% if you're blessed to get the 3%. So therefore, think about it. What do you really want to do? What do you really want to do? So after I got that news about that, they said something else that I don't want to say on here on this thing. But when they said that, I said, so they mixed me up with somebody else because they think we look alike. So I'm gonna leave that right there. Those people who understand what I'm saying understand what I'm saying. So therefore, there was an assumption and something said because I even asked my boss. I said, "Have I ever done that in any of your meetings?" She said, "No." I said, "Have I ever been like that in any type of meetings, even in the big meetings that we have with the executives?" So she said, "No." And I said, "Well, where would that come from?" She said, "I was shocked too." She didn't know what to say, and because she wasn't, it was the senior leader. So she had no say. So she just gets the feedback. And she said, "I'm just the one to give you the feedback on what they said." And I said, "Okay, I understood." They mixed me up with somebody else who was doing all the things, but they marked me that. I said, "Deuces, I'm done." And I was like, and then I got so excited. But when I walked out of my boss's office, you all talking about a weight lifted off of me. I mean, because when you're in corporate America, you're always trying to say the right thing. You're trying to look the right way. You're trying to walk the right way. And you want to make sure you maneuver and do all the right things so you can be looked at and seen because every day is indeed an interview. So I got tired of all of that. So when I walked out of that our office, I felt liberated. I was like, oh, this it's like this whoosh. And it was almost like God was like kissing me on my cheek, said, "Good girl, you did what I want you to do. You're believing in yourself now. And you don't need nobody else to believe in you." So therefore, when I took that for myself and I felt that just wind and weight lifted off of me, y'all, I put my all into my company. And what I did my job. I did what they paid me to do, and I still do what they pay me to do. But when I talk about going all in and giving my extra, I save that for iRock. I do all of that. But when I do my day to day, my 9 to 5, I'm going to always do what they ask me to do. I'm going to do that. Whatever my job description says, I am going to do. Whatever the expectations are, I am going to do it. Because you can ask any one of my bosses. Someone may be on here right now. I'm going to do what you're asking me to do because that's my integrity. And that's also what God asked me to do. You obey those who have rule over you. So I am always going to do that. However, what I did do, I did not give over and beyond like I used to. I would keep my main knowledge in my head for myself and I would invest it into my business. And that's how my business grew. Because if I'm not going to be paid the big bucks to make the big decisions, I'm going to agree to what you do, but I'm not going to give you how to do anything because I see some of the things at the organization. I was like, oh, I can turn that whole thing around. But they don't want to promote me into those opportunities. So I'm going to put it in iRock. And that's what I would do. And so therefore you have to think about, how do you take your skill set and how do you do what you want to do and really feel good about yourself and what you bring to the table. And again, don't let nobody stop you. I'm at 30 years now. I'm 55 years old. I am pension secure. So I can walk around and do whatever I want. I can push the button at any time to leave if I so desire. And I'm there because I do love what I do. I love the people I work with. I enjoy what I do. I really, really do. I'm not in a toxic environment. Ain't nobody bothering me and all that kind of stuff, because if that was a deal, I would have been gone. But I do love what I do, and I get a chance, an opportunity to coach every single day. I get a chance to develop people every single day, which only continues to sharpen my skills. I've been in leadership for almost 25 years now. 25 years working for, again, a Fortune 44 multi billion-dollar corporation, the number one PNC insurer. I'm not just talking what I talk, I know what I know. It's not something that I read, I know what I know. I'm not just a coach because I'm a coach because I said today I'm going to be a coach. No, I'm a coach because the company trained me to be a coach, and I just earned my professional certification coaching from the International Coaching Federation. So I know what I know. So therefore, believe in yourself. I'm saying all of this to say, believe in yourself, trail your own, chart your own path, and think about, what do you want to do for yourself. It could be within the organization. That's great. That's great. It may be at another organization, and that's great as well. It may be saying, you know what, I'm gonna hang out my own shingle and do what I want to do, and that's great as well. But what I'm saying, don't let anyone dampen your dreams. Okay, because they're yours, and you can truly create something great for yourself, irregardless of what anybody may think or say, or even purposely try to hold you back, because they are intimidated as well of what you bring to the table. So therefore, don't worry about them. Go do your own thing and keep your mouth shut. And that's what I do. I just maneuver. I do what I'm supposed to do. I'm having fun. I smile and I do whatever but I'm like, I can take that whole process and turn it around and teach everybody how to do it 10 times better. But they don't pay me those bucks to do it. So I'm just going to do my job. And that's what I do. And there's nothing wrong with me doing that, because I do it quite well. And I could do it in my sleep because, again, I've been doing it for so long. I could do it in my sleep. But so therefore, I say all that, not, well, I guess I am being braggadocious because, okay, because Lisa Bragg taught me that I need to add her. Y'all find Lisa and tell her get on here. But you brag about yourself. I'm very proud of what I've done. I'm very proud of what I've done in corporate America, and I'm very proud of what I've done in my business. And I have taken everything I have learned in corporate America and have developed my business accordingly. So here's another note for those of you who want to jump out there and just quit your jobs and just start your business because you're going to get the riches right away. That's not true. It's not true. What I want you to do instead is stay at that job, learn everything that you can, because if that job is successful and that company is successful, that is basically your MBA in training. You don't have to go and get a degree and pay all that money for that degree. Stay where you are in that company and learn how they do things. And then when you find things that can work even better, you take that and you transfer it to your own business. Okay. You're getting an MBA. I get an MBA education every time I go to work. Every time. We had a big executive leadership meeting today. I'm always going to those meetings, and I have one sheet of paper, a notepad or notebook or anything, all about what I need to tell my team. Then I have the other one. Okay, what can I leverage and use in iRock? Then I take that and I use it in my own business because I'm being trained by the best. Why wouldn't I take it from the best? So think about, how do you do that? How do you learn what you can in your organization and allow them to be, back to what I said earlier, your angel investor? That money that I make at my company sustains my life. My business, baby, I'm stashing. I save and I'm saving, and I pay my staff. I do that. And so therefore, you build your business so you can sustain it. And so what I plan to do is I want to have a full year salary in the bank. So when I retire, Not only do I have a pension, I have my 401k. I also have money in the bank. That's my full 1 year salary, not that 3 months expenses, 6 months expenses. Stop believing that crap. Actually put down whatever you make, have that in, and I mean gross, not net, gross in the bank. So you don't ever have to run back to corporate America if you don't ever want to, but do it smart. And that's what I always tell people. I say, I am the get higher strategist. My number one strength, no matter what kind of disc I take, no matter what kind of strength finders I take, Enneagram, my number one strength is strategy. And I did learn that from one of my favorite bosses at State Farm. He identified me as a young leader. He told me, "You're very strategic." I didn't know that. I just thought I'm detail oriented, I'm organized, and I'm great at time management. He said, "No, you're very strategic." And what I do, I can look at something from a big perspective, and then I'm fixing it and organize it until it works. That's just how my mind works. So I'm very strategic on what I do and how I make my moves. And I keep my mouth shut too. I'm telling y'all more on this live than I've ever talked about. And only some people on the side know about it. But I keep my mouth shut. That's another thing. There's too many people out here bragging about all of this stuff and everything, and for likes. No, baby, make that money. Stop doing all that stuff. I'm doing a lot this week because it's my 10th year anniversary. But sometimes you just got to be quiet. You move in the quiet. Don't tell everybody everything you're doing and all your moves. Because if you do that, you got some people that's going to try to tear you down. Stop doing that. Just do you and do your business and keep your mouth shut and grow it. And people will see the fruits of your labor. Because some people's like, wow, I didn't know that. That's because I know all this social media. Every time you turn around talking about everything I do. Y'all, if y'all knew everything I do, it would be just mind blowing. I just don't tell it all. Number one, I don't have time. Because in addition to that, I'm also a pastor's wife, senior pastor's wife for over 30 years. And I'm a mom and I'm a dog mom too. So I don't have time to do all of that. But I move and I do what I have to do because it's not about that. It's about I want to serve. I am a servant leader, have always been a servant leader, and I serve my clients. And I serve anybody who I work for and work with and who reports to me. I tell my team all the time, I am serving you so that you can serve me so we can move together and get those results. And I only not do that in my 9 to 5, I also do that in my own 5 to 9. And that's why my team loves working for me. Not just on the 9 to 5. My team loves working for me. That's on my 5 to 9. So therefore, it's more to it. So I want you all to be cognizant of that. Now, I am not a business coach, but I know business. I know it very well, very, very, very well. And those who've had the opportunity to work with me, either for the Society of Elite Resume Writers and Coaches, as I am their business coach and president of that group. And those are my clients every once in a while. If they want to, start their own business, I'll say, okay, that's not what I do, but I'll help you. And then, they'll pay me and I'll help them do that. And they're like, oh my gosh, you got me all these results so quickly. I said, because I have failed enough for you. I've spent too much money for you. I have done all kinds of things ahead of you. So therefore, I got all of this knowledge and I'm giving you the shortcut to make you some money quickly. So I know how to do it. But I'd say that I'm not a business coach. Now, will I consult you? Yes. And yes, you will have to pay me because I have a lot of good things and you will make your money back. So no, I do not do this for free. But I don't want people to say, I want you to be my business coach, because that's not me. I love branding and marketing people, and my business has evolved from paraprofessionals and career, professional, technical, non-management people to then getting into management. Now, the bulk of my clients at this time are senior leaders, and they're getting to those C-suite. And I get a lot of physicians who are in the corporate space. So those are my clients now. And yes, they do get $500,000 and more. And that's just the base salary, not even talking about their bonuses. And so therefore I'm there and I can get them there. So I'm saying a whole lot of stuff. What else I had to say to y'all? Oh, I was supposed to talk about my new thing. So if you all go to my website, I got some new things out there. So I have the WIN program, and it's all about making sure that you win in your career. So I'm offering the WIN program. And another thing that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing something that's a coaching program that's going to be called End Time Coaching. And with this coaching program is going to give you access to me where I'm going to be able to, because a lot of times you have to schedule a call and wait until you get on somebody's schedule. But I'm going to make it so that when you need to get an answer, you're going to be able to get it almost immediately. And so I'm working on that program. So it's going to be called End Time Coaching. So be looking out for that. And what else are we doing over here at iRock? We got the iWin program, the VIP program. It has been totally revamped. And iWin, let me see what else. The end time coaching. I can't remember what else. Oh, I have two webinars that are going to be coming up. So you'll be looking out for those webinars so I can talk about how the iWin program will help you and also how the new coaching program will help you. And it's all in honor of me getting that professional certification in coaching. And I jumped over to ACC because I've been coaching for a long time. So I have the middle one, the PCC, and I am after that MCC, Master Coaching. Yep. And I also do outplacement services as well. And that's when companies hire iRock to help their staff land their jobs as well, meaning resume writing, interview prep, and also career coaching. So I do that. So I'm looking forward to the next 10 plus years with iRock. I want to thank you all for being with me today. And thank you for celebrating me, celebrating the company. So I know we have inundated you all a lot with a lot of stuff. So thank you for sharing the information, liking it, and commenting. This is our in office week at State Farm. So I haven't been able to really look at a lot of the posts, but I'll plan to do that over this long, wonderful weekend. And so I'll be back shortly on Saturday to talk about a little bit of things, just kind of like have a rah rah party because it is the actual day of the anniversary. But I just really want to make sure that you all think about how do you pursue your own passion. And again, not allowing anybody to dictate who you are and what you're capable of in their eyesight, because again there's so many other organizations out there that would love to have you. And if you ever decide to think about having your own business, you can do that too, because you have the talent and skills as well. And get out the noise and stop looking at everybody else and seeing what everybody else do. I don't even care about what everybody else is doing. I do what Nicolette believes to be true. I serve my clients, and my clients continuously tell others about me, so I don't have to do all of that advertising and paying for all that stuff, because my referral list is robust and I love it. Oh, thank you. Look at my niece. My niece, I just love my niece. And my niece is going to be my marketing intern next year. Now, see, I said it publicly, so that means you're going to have to do it. Anyway, so, and I get some interns this summer too, so I can't wait for that as well. But she's going to be my it's marketing intern on next semester. So I'm excited to bring her on board and keep it in the family. So I could say, do y'all got questions? I guess I said a whole lot, but I just had to get that off my heart. And because I haven't really told the full story about why I really went all in with my business, but it gets to the place that you know what? You don't have to believe what everybody else say, and it's okay. And it was like, you know what? I need to prove it to myself and what I can do. I don't care about them, but I needed to prove it to myself. And trust me, I get comments from senior leaders like, I see what you're doing. You are doing a wonderful job. Thank you. That's all I say is thank you. That's it. And then I also serve a lot of senior leaders as well. All right. So hopefully this was helpful for you all, maybe inspiring. I'm hoping you're inspired by my journey and what I have been able to do over the last 10 years. I've enjoyed the ride, and I can't wait to the next 10 years and seeing what things are going to happen. But you're going to see a lot more from iRock and just doing what we love to do best. And that's helping people, transforming people from job applicants to job candidates so they can land the job of their dreams and create a career that rocks. And you're talking to the Get Higher strategist, 5 times certified, who can get you there. All right. And if you decide that you want to do a business, I don't mind consulting, but I am not a business coach. Only business coach to my resume writers and career coaches, because that's my niche. That's what I do. I am not a business coach in the general sense, but I will consult and give you some tips on what you need to do to get yourself running. All right. So virtual hugs to you all. I'm going to go and get me some dinner. Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. And share this video and comment. Let me know what y'all think. All right. Bye. Let me see. I need to do my outro because I got to do my outro. Let me see if I can find my outro. All right.